Good morning, Yvette. Good morning, Lori. Oh, good morning, Nakia.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am well. How is the weather in Alabama?
It's a little cool. I haven't been outside yet. I'm in a little hole.
Yeah, yeah. It is it's more than a little cool here in Georgia. Yeah, I'm not even gonna pretend. It's cold. Downright cold. Yeah, let me finish my text. I was sending a quick text to some people in my coaching group who are not turning in their 411 and GPS. Hello, Jim. So I'm going to send it out real quick. GPS and 411 now.
All right, I'm here now.
Hey, how are you, Jim?
I'm good.
Great, great, great. Wonderful. How was your holidays?
Pretty slow.
Pretty what? Slow, small?
Yeah, slow, small. It's got the virus going around, so couldn't really, you know, do a whole lot like we normally do, which was a
Yeah.
good thing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We kept ours small and at home too. How was yours, Nikia?
Beautiful, peaceful.
Mm,
Um, we had some, good family moments.
yeah,
But
yeah. Us too. Us too. And Lori, Happy New Year.
Hi, Happy New Year.
Yeah. How was your holiday?
It was quiet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
That sounds to be the theme this year. Quiet.
well,
Yeah.
we typically travel, so because we have no family here,
Yeah.
um, so we did not go anywhere.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Us too. I usually stay home for Christmas anyway. I
Yeah,
go to Florida to mom's for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I want to be in my bed.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, Christmas Day is my birthday as well, so
Oh, now let me ask you, do you get two separate gifts or they just lump them all together?
sometimes.
See, that would not be fun for me. I want separate gifts because my birthday is January 26th. So
Okay,
everybody knows, don't give me anything for Christmas for my birthday because that won't fly.
I know, I get it,
your
I get
birthday is
it.
the day before mine, Autherine.
Oh, it is? I
Yeah.
haven't
Mine's the
remembered
29th.
that. Okay, good.
Woo woo.
Oh, look at my,
January birthday's in the house.
yes, yeah. Look at my forehead. Oh my gosh, look at that.
I
Happy
stopped
early
celebrating mine
birthdays.
about 10 years ago, though.
Yeah. Oh, the boy. Hello. Happy New Year, Kim. Mandy. Who is that?
Happy birthday.
Adrian. Hello.
Hello.
So, you guys, we have a rock star PC coach on the call with us today. Miss Nikia Dollar is here from sunny Alabama.
Sunny, Alabama.
Sunny Alabama, yeah. She, she did a fantastic GPS and 411 class before the holidays, was it, Nikia?
Yes, it was on
So,
the 22nd.
yeah, so I teach this at least 3 or 4 times here in the market center. So when I realized that mine was coming up, I'm like, I need her expertise. I need her help with this. Hey, Arthur Boyd. Arthur Boyd is from
You.
I am great. So Arthur is from, don't tell me, Keller Williams. So we're Keller Williams, Atlanta North. I think
Yeah.
Arthur is in Keller Williams, North Atlanta. Yeah?
Close, close, but actually chat north.
Oh, Chat North. See, this all these
Yeah,
North.
that's where
North.
all of our
Yeah.
stars are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So crazy. Hey Keith, how are you? Welcome, welcome. So the only person who's not allowed, who I don't expect to show her face is Yvette, because Yvette's feeling really sick, y'all. So let's just give Yvette some love. And
Oh,
you
hope you
Oh,
can
feel
put
feel
better.
in the
better. Thank
chat
you
how
for
you're
being
doing.
here.
Thank you for being here, Yvette. I was fussing at her yesterday. She's one of my longtime coaching clients, and I saw her numbers for the end of the year. Oh my God, she blew it out of the water. And she's been at home sick for 3 weeks, and I know she's working. So I was fussing at her through the chat. So I am so happy you're here. So you're good. You're good. So everybody else, I don't care what you guys look like. Lily Bramlett, there you are. Oh my God. Happy New Year again. Okay, so you guys know that I start on time because I want to honor those who are here. And for the people who are not, John Brown, hello.
Hey,
Happy New Year. I haven't seen your face in the place in a while. So John's very, very new to the office, you guys. So send him some love. So again, Nikia Dollar is a PC coach from in Alabama Market Center. And so she's here with us today. And Nikia, if you don't mind just chiming in whenever you would like to, because I want to make this more of a conversation. So let me introduce myself. My name is Autherine Johnson. I have been in this office for 13 years.
30 years?
Oh my God. Yes. I've been in this market center for 13 years. And so 5 years, I think almost 5 years ago, I accepted the role as a PC coach in the office. So anyway, so that's me. And Nikia, do you want to just introduce yourself too, honey?
Sure. My name is Nikia Dollar. I'm honored to be called a rock star at anything. I've been a productivity coach in Huntsville for probably a little over 14 months. And I'm a practice leader with the One Thing, a brand ambassador, helping people just use the tools that are available. You know, Keller Williams provides us with so many amazing tools, but if we don't know how to use them, they really don't do us any good. So I started on a path of mastery to learn how to use these tools. And honestly, I just kind of took it to heart. Gary Keller teaches us that if you want to master something, you teach it. Yeah. So I realized I still have a challenge as it relates to time blocking and following my schedule, because I mean, I've said it before, I chase butterflies. I like the shiny things, right? I like to do the things that, you know, make me feel good. And sometimes I'd realize that I wasn't getting the results that I was looking for. And then I had to step back and really dig into my 411 and using it as the tool that it was meant to be, my priorities, not everybody else's. So right. Autherine invited me to pop in. I do have to pop out for our office's team meeting at the top of the hour. And I hope I can give you some nuggets that will make these tools even more useful for you. Well, thank you for having me.
Fantastic. So if you don't mind, I'll cover the GPS part. You can jump in whenever you like. And then I'll have you cover the 411 part, and I'll jump in whenever I like, whenever I can, and because you're an expert on that. And so I just want to start by saying we're going to talk about the GPS, which is talk about goal setting and setting yourself up to win in 2021. So I want to ask a couple of questions. Who here has a GPS that you're working from right now? All right. So Mandy, yours is due to me. John Brown, the same thing. And if you're coaching with me, your GPS is due to me by tomorrow. I'll be nice, right? And it does not have to be perfect, right? The purpose of putting one together and sending it to your coach for accountability is so we can talk through it. My MAPS coach has already rejected mine a couple of times, because it wasn't specific enough, right? So I am just going to be as transparent as Gary teaches us to be, right? Okay. So do you have a GPS? Do you know what a GPS is?
No.
No. Okay. Angela, thank you for that. Who
I'm
else
not
said
familiar.
No?
Context.
I don't know about these two.
All right.
The abbreviations get me. I have no clue what you're talking about.
All right, so let's think about your GPS in your car. Let's assume that I said, hey, Jim, I want you to go 24 to 25 Idlewood Street, and it is in Dahlonega. What is the first thing that you would do?
Pick up my phone.
Jim. And
put the address in.
Yeah, yeah. Same thing in this case, right? Because I don't even know how to get to Dahlonega. So if somebody was gonna send me to Dahlonega and offer me $5,000, I'm gonna put it in here and then go out to my car. So this is the same thing. So I'm assuming that we have businesses that's gonna net us more than $5,000. So why would you say, okay, I have a business, I want to make 6 figures next year and not have a plan? So your GPS is your plan. So G stands for goals. My big goal. What's my big goal? I want to make 6 figures. Okay. What are my priorities? Right? And then under each priority, you have 5 strategies. And I'm going to share mine in a little bit. So your GPS helps you to run that business like a business, because I always said I've been here 13 years and I should have started here first. Because this is the only place where there's a little guy, his name is Gary Keller, and he gives us systems and he gives us tools. He gives us this thing called the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, right? So this one talks about our systems and our tools. You guys should have this on your table. Then he gives us this other thing called the one thing. So Nikia just spoke about she loves butterflies. We're real estate agents. We love shiny, shiny things. And yeah, she has hers, right? She loves shiny things. So in the one thing, Gary teaches us to, okay, you love shiny things, great, right? So I was watching a podcast with him last week and he said the problem with real estate agents is that we are taught to think about to the future, right? And then come back and focus on one thing for 2021. But here's the thing, it's not just this year, guys. It's about your career. And then we have this other thing called shift. And what does this one say? How top real estate agents tackle tough times. Because guess what? I've been around now 20 years. The 15th is my anniversary. So you know I went through the last downturn, and you guys, it was not pretty. And this book pulled us all through. So who has been in real estate for 20 years or more? 15. Yeah, Arthur, okay. 10. Huh, 5. So here's what's happening, you guys, right? So Arthur is the senior person and I'm the senior person. And I think Regina has been around a long time too. We are on a high. We are on an 11-year run of a great market that it cannot sustain itself. So when we are now in a shift, we're always in a shift, because guess what's not happening? We don't have enough inventory for all of these buyers that we have. So we are in a shift. So one little takeaway, one little nugget, and we'll be dropping them the whole time. Pick up this book and go through it like a manual. All right, and there is a call every morning at 8 o'clock, shift pivot, where there are about 400, 500 of us on that call. All right, so let's just get straight into our GPS, the plan. I'm gonna share my screen and show you what my fictitious one looks like. Hang on a second. Let's make sure I can see it. Hang on. Right. Let me clean some things out and get to that updated GPS. Here you go. And now I've got to share it. All right, share screen. All right, can everybody see this one?
Yes, I can.
All right, so here is the big goal. So this is a fictitious one for me that I put together for the purpose of this group. So last year, my coach, and I have a MAPS coach because you can't be a coach without a coach. It just doesn't make sense, right? So I have a MAPS coach, and last year she said to me, I want you to focus on units. And I'm like, huh, I want to focus on the money, the money, the money. But what we found out through studying other huge real estate agents who run huge businesses is that when you focus on the units, the dollars kind of take care of themselves. Would you agree with that, Nikia?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, great. So we're focusing on closing, let's say 38 homes this year. So that is the big G, right? Everybody get that? And you would, of course, know this because you've done a business plan. And everybody that's on this call from this market center, we did business planning back in October. If you joined the market center since then, and we're coaching together, we've done our business plan. So you pull whatever your big goal is off of that, and you start putting together a GPS, a plan that you can follow. So the big goal is 38 homes. Okay, so what is my priority? And Nikia, would you tell them what a priority does versus what strategy does?
Well, you don't have to focus, you can only focus on one thing at a time. So the GPS goals, priorities, and strategies, it's what your each category is broken down into. Honestly, the foundational model in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent almost lays it out for us. And the foundational model is leads, listings, and leverage. And so you think about, you look here, priority number one under her mock-up is past clients and sphere of influence. That's leads.
That's
Having
me.
conversations and building relationships with people that you already have the contact information for should be your first step. And honestly, even if you haven't been in the business for a while, there are probably some numbers in your phone you haven't reached out to in a while. And you're missing out, as well as those people are missing out, on building relationships to grow and potentially grow your real estate business.
Yeah.
So your goal is your destination. It's where you intend to be. Your priorities is the how you intend to get there, and your strategies becomes the what. What are you doing within those priority categories?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So once you get to what your priority is, and I personally, I've been at this for a long time, and I've always wanted to get to the point where my sphere of influence, my past clients, I would have such a relationship with them. I would nurture that relationship, and I would have such exceptional customer service that every time they heard somebody say real estate, they would refer to me. And I am at the point now where I think about 95% of my business is coming from my sphere of influence. So, all right, my strategy. How in the world do I keep in touch with my sphere of influence and my past clients such that I am not buying leads, right? And I am not chasing other things? Because our database is our business. And Gary has taught us that our database is our business. So what I did was, and I would encourage you to do it, you should have at least 5 good strategies under each priority that you know you're gonna run. You're gonna run. And mine that I have, I run them every year, right? So do a brain dump on a piece of paper and then pull out the 5 best ones. So on here, you'll see that I'm going to do what Gary teaches us, right? I'm going to put them in command, and then every year we clean up our command, because there's some people who opt out. So you want to get those people out. Some people who, quite frankly, I don't know who they are. So I might take them out too. And then of course I had my 36 touch set up and running in E-Edge. Now, my assistant has moved them over to command, right? Because like I said, we have everything that we need to be successful. So they're now in command. We have smart plans. We do send out neighborhood videos every month. And I can tell you that video was two $400,000 sales. So $916,000 in volume came from me just sending out those videos for the first 4 months. The last 4 months of the year, I think we did that, right? So that was a really great check. So 3 times 9, 27,000, of which I did not buy a lead, right? So I will take that every day, right? And here's one of the things that I love, and I don't send those videos out. Iman is my assistant, so she has it set up where she just plugs in the numbers and they go out. So I get a great response from that. We get emails, we get texts, everything. And so we're going to keep doing that. Here's something that I love to do. I do a pop by, and I do that by the 15th, 8 times per year. So my last one was December. In December, I always do a cookie pop by. I'm going to skip January, right? Because I'm tired. Because I'm going to do a February pop by. And my February pop by, what's coming up in February?
Yes.
Yes, Valentine's Day. So I've got a little mailbox, and that's going to be filled with chocolate, right? And then, of course, anything else that you can think about. The last one, please mute yourself, Lori. So the last one on here, I did religiously before COVID, and it was in person. Hang on.
Okay. No, I have this one call, but I'm not sure exactly. It should be done by 12, but I might be able to.
All right, Lori, when you can come back, I just kind of put you in a waiting room, so we couldn't hear you. All right, so having said that, so my next priority, so here's the thing with this priority number 1. If you're running priority number 1 at such a high level, Nikia, do we really need to go to something else?
Actually, no. I'm glad you mentioned that, because the priority should be in order of priority. Because if you can only do one of them, you execute that at a high enough level, you won't even need to do the others. So make sure that when you're looking at them, that you're putting them in the right order, and that the first priority, if executed highly, can actually get you to your goal.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what Gary says. You know, there's a video there with Gary and with Jeff Woods, and talking to Gary about his priority. And, you know, he went on to priority number 2, and Gary stopped him. And Gary said, but let's go back to priority number 1. And said, okay. Gary asked him some questions, you know, went back, he went through priority number 2. Gary's like, you know what? Let's go to priority number 1. And he did that a couple of times for Jeff to realize. He said, if you did priority number 1 and you mastered it, because Gary is about mastering something and just pushing play. If you do it well enough, or you do it at a masterful level, you really don't need to go to priority number 2. Well, there are a lot of new agents on here, Nikia, so they need to figure it out. So for the purpose of this, I have priority number 2, which I love to do anyway. And if you look at it, it's going to support priority number 1, right? So priority number 2 is quarterly client events. Why wouldn't I have quarterly client events to support priority number 1, right? And I put it as a priority so I can invite other people who are not my sphere of influence and who are not my past clients. So this month, I'm going to do a virtual vision board party. I usually do an in-person vision board party. I'm a little bit intimidated by the idea of doing a virtual vision board party for my sphere of influence. So I tried it out at the office, and it went okay, didn't it, Christina? Yeah. So I tried it out. I did a test run. I did it at the office with agents. So when I do it later on this month with my sphere of influence, I have had some experience because I almost didn't do it. And then I started calling around, hey, you guys, I'm so sorry we can't do a vision board party at my office and bring food and all of this. Have you done yours? What's on yours? Nothing, because we haven't done it. I'm like, oh, okay, we're gonna do one. So start clipping. More, more information to come, right? And they're like, how are you gonna do it with COVID? I'm like, we're gonna do it virtually. We're gonna pivot. You know what that word is, right? So we're doing one because there is a need for it. Because if I don't do it, my sphere of influence, most of them will not have a vision board this year. Okay.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, honestly, Autherine. Think
Yeah.
about that. You told yourself that it wasn't something you were going to be able to do because you'd never done it before. And now that you tested it out, you're more comfortable doing it with your sphere of influence. So many things that we used to do in person, we've not done it all because we don't see how it can be done in a virtual setting, when in reality, you can have just as robust a conversation, a relationship, an event virtually it takes intentionality and it takes planning. However, you can still grow your business and your database and your life doing things virtually.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And so the next one, I'm just going to go through it real quickly and then stop share. For the purpose of this call, we go back to the leads. And my priority number 3 would be to do 100 contacts per week, right? And then you brain dump it, how you're going to do it. Mine is 50 contact day on Fridays. I'm going to call, I'm going to text 200 out-of-state owners every week. I'm going to circle prospect around my listings that I sold last year. And I'm going to post listings on Facebook, and I'm going to get phone calls from those and inquiries. I'm going to create a paid Facebook post on all of my listings and run that for a month and change the verbiage every 10 days. Now, here's the thing about a GPS that Gary says. It should be on one page. It should be SMART goals. And it should be where if I step back from the business, I can hand it off to Christina or somebody else and say, here it is, run with it. Now, I'm going to stop share so we can have a little conversation about this before we go to the 411. Any ahas, anything you want to ask Nikia or myself about a GPS?
Are you able to send that to us in email?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, thank you.
That would be nice. I'd appreciate that.
That
Okay.
would be great.
All right, good.
Yeah, because I think my template that was a little different than yours, I liked yours a lot better. So I'm just like, yeah, I like.
Okay, I will send you guys mine. Why don't you email me autherine@kw.com? I can just send that out. And so here's the thing, right? So because it's just me, you will notice that I had on one spot my assistant. Every great GPS should have by who and by when. So when you get mine, make sure you put by who and by when out to the side, okay? All right, any other questions on that before we go to the 411? All right, good. So Nikia, do you want to run with the 411?
Yeah. Okay. So what's a 411? 411 stands for 4 weeks, 1 month, 1 year. And it was a tool designed by Gary Keller to honestly help you get into a relationship with your goals. Because they figured out, we don't need a new way to set goals. We need to learn how to be in relationship with our goals. Like, what is it that you truly want? What are your priorities? And so it's not a to-do list, it's a success list. Because there are things that there's a lot of things that you could be doing, and your 411 are the things that you should be doing in order to reach your goals. And bear with me one moment, because I just thought you wanted me to chat, but if I could share my
Okay,
screen.
because you know what, I was gonna share the 411 that
You have
supports.
one? Okay.
Yes, yeah. So just go ahead and chat. Yeah.
So can you put up a 411, because it's.
I sure am going to. Yes. Working on that right now, Nikia.
Okay.
411. Here we go. All right. So it picks up, right? Can you all see that?
Awesome.
I need to
Yeah.
make it a little bit bigger.
So you see there at the top of your 411 is your annual goals. All the things that you want to accomplish. And it's broken into 2 sections actually it's broken into 6 sections. 2 sections for annual, your professional and personal. 2 sections for monthly, again, professional and personal. And then below that, there's weekly. We'll get to the weekly later. We're gonna roll systematically down the sheet here. So is this your mock-up one, Autherine, or is this?
Yes,
Okay.
this is the markup one that supports that GPS. So if you notice, the annual goals is the big goal on the other sheet. So I still have, okay, I'm gonna sell 28 homes and now I break it out a little bit more, right? Sell 38 homes by focusing 80% of my activities on my sphere of influence by doing 38 touch, my 4 events, my 8 pop buys, and 20% of my sales I want to come from Facebook and from agent to agent referrals. And then I want to increase my core, my A++ clients by 20%. So to me, that is clear, right? And then my personal, okay, what is it that's over here in my personal life that will cause me to get up on a day that I don't feel like it, that will cause me to pick up the 100,000-pound phone and make that first phone call? Because we all know that first phone call is the hardest. So what is it over here that I want to do that would cause me to do this? So I want to buy a second home or investment property by December 2021. And I really need to put on here, overlooking the water. On the days where, and I have a picture of it somewhere in my phone too. So like we say, especially when you're a real estate agent, you're a productivity coach, you got tons of stuff going on and you love shiny things. I need to be very, very specific about what it is that drives me, right? Right? So personal, I want to buy that second home. I want to be on the water somewhere, and then everything else that I want to visit my finances every Sunday just to make sure I'm on goal to get to that nice house. I'm gonna work out 4 times a week. Gonna do my annual health checkups because I'm really bad at that. So now it's on my 411. Saturday night, I want a date night because I need to just chill, relax, and go somewhere, whatever.
So how many for the year?
See, exactly. Thank you. See that? I need to go in and put how many date nights for the year. So this is why you do a 411, you show it to somebody else for the accountability, and not only for the accountability, so you can fine tune it. Because that as it is just vague.
So let's talk about this. I'll coach you as this will be your 411, and we'll talk about it like it's yours, right? So are these things in order of priority? Is reading the Bible in the year a lower priority than buying that second investment property? Is
no, ma'am,
a date night is a date night with your spouse or significant other a lower priority than buying an investment property. So in this instance, it's important to have them, get them down and then interrogate them to know that they're in the right order for you.
Yes.
Okay. So if you're, because real estate can take over your life if you let it. And you know that where you put your time is where your priorities are. And so many times we get so caught up in real estate that you see it. Real estate agents, relationships falter because they're always on their phone. They're always, running here. They're always running there. And their spouses and their families, they resent the phone and they resent the business because it's not been made a priority. So having a dedicated date night, family time, vacation time, honestly, conventional wisdom tells us put your vacations in first, right? So
This is not even
interrogate.
on here. Yeah.
So interrogate what's here based on your commitments. Okay. So it's not just the things that you hope to happen, because I've seen that as well. I've done that as well, to be honest. I put all the things in there that I would like to happen, and don't create the momentum, the intentionality, the commitment behind those activities. So, Autherine, can you rearrange those items under annual into a different order based on just your opinions?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, that will be done. And you want me to do it now?
No, this is the agents in your program should do the same level of questioning about your the things that you put down as well. Like, if you can only do one thing of the 5 things that are there, which is the most important?
Okay.
And that the most important one should be first.
Okay, great. Gotcha. All right. So you guys got that, right? Okay, good piece of nugget. All right, so are we okay with the annual? Everybody understood that? Do we have any questions before we go to the monthlies? All right, so I'm going to assume that you guys are pretending that you're shy because Nikia is here with us. And then you're going to have great questions for me later on. But remember what I said, she's a rock star productivity coach. So don't be shy if you have questions.
I do have one. So how often would you recommend revisiting the annual? Because obviously things can change. Something that you thought maybe would have taken you a little bit longer in the year to achieve, such as that investment property, you might have been able to knock that out come March. And I would imagine you might be then aggressive and looking to maybe do another property. So how often would you advise of revisiting these goals, especially the annual?
John, thank you so much for asking that question. Your 411 is your action plan. You visit it every day, and you can revisit or revise as necessary because it's yours. It's your priority. So if things happen that move things around, like you said, you got the investment property at the beginning of the year. Well, you decide, okay, well, I checked this one off, and you could add a second one if you choose. And you have to have a framework, and that's what it is. So you have, because it's yours to navigate, you can move things around and update them. I typically will put either check marks or I'll use the cross through on my once I get those things done. And the more specificity that you can put in each of the items, like 40 date nights in a year, and then when you go down to the month, you'll put 4 for that month, and in your week, if it's going to be in that week, you put the date in there. So everything in your monthly goals should support what you intend to make happen for that month, because not every annual goal has an action item every month. Say, for example, your summer, if you do something in May for Memorial Day, a pop by or something of that nature, you won't necessarily have an action item for that in January, February, or March, but in April, you may. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Make sense, John?
It does. Yes, thank you.
Okay, great. All
I
right.
have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a minimum or maximum number of line items that you would put under each category? And how do you keep from just making one long to-do list? Thank you.
That is such a fantastic question. And I'm going to answer it, and then Nikia, you can jump in if you want to, because Gary talks about that all the time, of us doing priority lists instead of the important things to do. Because we do priority lists because we like to check stuff off, right? And at the end of the day, you check stuff off and you really haven't achieved anything. So here's what I say about a priority list. Put it all on a piece of paper and then pull out the top 3 most important things that when you do them, all the others go away or it doesn't really matter. So what's the one thing that I can focus on in the one thing? And having done that, everything else just falls to the side. It is this here, Regina, is this book. And if you haven't read it, you should. What is the
It's
one?
on Audible.
Yeah, it's on Audible. Yeah.
I need to reread it. It's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So not to-do list, Regina, priority list.
That's a fantastic point, Autherine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's right. It's a priority list. And you can write down all the things that you feel need to get done. Some of the things can be leveraged off to admin support or at a later time. Because like if you're updating or scheduling your Facebook post, you don't need to do that during prime lead generation time when you should be reaching out to people. You can do that in the evening or something along those lines. You have to decide what's important and look at what things you write down and decide which one is going to get you closer to where it is you want to go versus just getting things done. Because don't confuse busy for achievement, right? Because you can be busy all the time and not make a dime. You can busy your way right out of business. Because there's business and there's busyness. We want productivity, which you look at your priorities and put them in the order of priority. Which one is this going to take you? And honestly, taking 10 to 15 minutes in the morning to look at what it is you have going on in your schedule and deciding whether or not that is moving you towards where it is you want to go. Because honestly, we have so many tools. You can class yourself to death and you can be the most intelligent, most educated agent in your entire market center who is going broke because you don't pick up the phone and call the people and see how they're doing and nurture those relationships. So, soapbox.
Yeah,
That was
I-
needed.
Yeah, and it's a great soapbox because we're in this beautiful company that gives us so many tools, right? And like you and I, we're PC coaches, so we have MAPS coaches that go, were you on the growth call today? Were you on this call today? And I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to coach and recruit. And where's the time to do that if I'm going to be on these calls and I'm going to go to all these seminars and webinars? So busy work. And I've seen it, right? We've seen it where we have agents that come into the program. They come into the lead gen room. They're supposed to lead gen and they're busy. Oh, I'm so busy. What are you doing? I have to send out this email. I got to get this thing ready. The 411 and the GPS is something that is why you have a 411 created, so because it's just in black and white and it tells you what to do. And at this point, I want to just ask a question, right? What is the job of a real estate agent? Somebody just tell me really quickly, what is the job of a real estate agent?
Lead gen.
Okay, that's one. Come on,
5.
when we get 5 of them. So, all right, so you get a
Go an
lead.
appointment.
Yeah.
Okay, but before you go on the appointment, what do you have to do when you get that lead?
Follow up with them.
That's right. And then what? Go on the appointment, right? Hopefully we get the appointment, we go on the contract, so don't we have to, what else? What do we do after we go on the contract? Or even before we go on the contract? To get on the contract, we have to negotiate some terms, right? And then one of the most important things that should be in front of lead gen is,
Scripts.
what do we do at 8:30 every morning?
We must do scripts.
Script.
I do.
Yes, exactly. And whoever said I do, I can't see your face. Thank you for that.
No
All right.
problem. I'm so grateful to Tom.
Yes, yeah. You're good because that's a skill that you must build so you can actually get a lead. All right, so I'm gonna scroll down to my monthly and I want to say one thing, Nikia, when you get to your 411, you can start with whatever side floats your boat. Okay. There's no real
Absolutely.
order. You can start with whatever side. So if you look at my personal and you're following us and you listen to what Nikia just said, you will see for the month of, so it's monthly goals, right? We've passed the annual. You'll see for the month that there's one thing that's not on here. And it's the Saturday evening date nights.
Mhm.
Right? So that immediately tells you something. It's not that I don't love my husband, love my marriage, because I do. But if I'm looking at this, if I was coaching somebody, I'm looking at that and it's up here on your annual goal and I don't see it on the monthly, then I'm going to question that. I'm going to interrogate that. Right? So that has to, not only do I have to go back up here and go, okay, 40 date nights, and then monthly, okay, I'm going to have 4 or 5 or whatever, right? So you see how all of that works? Because the monthly is going to support the annual. And then of course, the weekly is going to support the monthly, which rolls up to the annual. So what am I saying about the monthly? So let's just take one piece of it. One of the most important piece of it is that I am gonna time block and I'm gonna use the planning the year script, which we've already done that. And I'm gonna take some listings. Now, when I get to my weekly, that's where I get to go really, really granular with that and say how I'm gonna do that. So for me, my weekly goals are, I'm going to start with my mindset and I'm going to do the shift pivot mastermind 4 times a week, right? And I do it 4 times a week because on Monday mornings at 8, that's when I have my MAPS coaching call. So I'm going to start with my mindset and then 4 times a week, I am going to do scripts and role play. Yes, your coaches do scripts and role play. What a shocker. We are just modeling what Gary teaches us, right? So we do scripts and role play. And then my weekly goal is power day. I'm going to do power day with somebody from 8:30 to at 8:30. Sorry, go back. Power day was the 4th, right? From 9 to 2. We already did that, right? And then, so I'm going to do my power hours Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. And if you're in this market center, you know why I'm not going to do it 9 to 2 on Tuesday, because it's team meeting. Okay, I can't do anything about the 9 to 11, right? But every day after that, I'm going to do power days. Not power days, I'm going to do power hours. Fridays, I'm going to do 50 contacts because that was over on my GPS. And this week, I'm gonna send my invitations out for my vision board party, which is up in my annual that I'm gonna do 4 events. So that will be one event that I'm gonna do this month, and then I'll have 3 left to go for the rest of the year. And in my personal, of course, I have some things for this week that's really important to me. I want to go ahead and time block. I already time block when I'm going to call to set up my dentist appointment. And then on Thursday from 2 to 3, I'm going to set all the other appointments, right? The health checkup, the mammogram, the whatever. And I have to make myself put it under my weekly goals, or else it's going to go by the wayside. How do I know that? Because I've done it.
And it's not on your schedule, it doesn't exist.
If it's not on your schedule, it does not exist. I am going to stop share so you guys can chime in and ask whatever questions you would like to ask.
I do have a question, Autherine. Your Friday, 50 contacts. Can you give me an example of how that happens? Because I mean, if I'm literally on my phone trying to decide 50 people to call in a day, I'm ready to blow my brains out by 10 a.m. I mean, do you literally pick up the phone and call 50 people? Are you messaging some of them, calling some of them? I mean, I'm just kind of curious how this works.
Yes, I am messaging some of them. I am messaging the ones who, if I call them, I know they're not picking up. But before I can push go on my text message, they're going to respond. Right? Yeah. So it could be, and I start off with my sphere of influence on Fridays, and then I work my way through people who I have not talked to in a long time, because I, like everybody else, have call bias. There are some people I just love to talk to, and I'll talk to them to death. And then I'll look in my phone and I'm like, oh my God, Billy Smith. I haven't talked to Billy in 5 months. Maybe this is the day I talk to Billy, right? So that's what I do. I do phone calls and I do text. And if time allows, I'll do some circle prospecting around something that I've sold.
So if it's somebody you haven't talked to in 5 months, I mean, a casual person, not family member, something like that. I mean, what do you say? Hey, it's been a while. What's going on in your life?
Yeah.
I mean, something
Yeah.
simple as that.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Yes. Success is simple.
Don't overcomplicate it. So you and I are having a
Do you
conversation.
do you follow the never ending referrals, do the database 2 schedule?
Yes, I have it. Yep.
So for those of you who are not familiar with what that is, it's just calling 2 letters of the alphabet each week. This is the first week of the year, so it's A and W.
Yes.
So the people that you're calling are anyone that you have their phone number whose last name starts with an A or a W, and you work your way through all of them.
And I will tell you something. My phone is set up with first names, right? So what I did, don't overcomplicate it. Like she said, success is simple. When we had our power day on Monday, this is what I did. I went through all of my A's and I started with my clients and sphere of influence first. And then I called my W's, right? And then I went back through my A's, the people who are not sphere of influence, who are not clients, and I called them. So we're doing A and W this week. And if you don't have that system, just email me. I'll give you the system.
Yeah, I almost think you can further simplify that. Doesn't matter whether their sphere of influence or how you got their number. Honestly, I got a script from another coach a couple of weeks ago about if you're reaching out to somebody, I'm giving you a courtesy call because you're in my database and we connected at some point in the past, and I'm reaching out to see how you're doing. Bam. Honestly, we're in a pandemic. People need a phone call. You know what I mean? They need a break from whatever it is that they've closed themselves off to. Yeah. They're stuck at home. They have their kids. Their job has changed. So many things are going on in our world, right? So just call. How you doing?
How do you get away from the one word answers? You know, hey, how you doing? I'm good.
Awesome. How's your family doing?
They're fine.
Well, awesome. Do you guys have any plans for to go anywhere once things start opening up?
No.
How about the Falcons there, Jim?
Well, I'm saying it creates a very awkward moment. And
You know what? And that's fine. Guess what? There's gonna be people like that. You know what? It's gonna be. I'm glad you guys are fine. And yeah, if you do, there's gonna be some. I'm sure there's gonna be some amazing parties once we get this pandemic under control. Do you know of anybody who's got a local business that I can support? You know, I've been hearing about shopping local. Do you or someone you know have a business that I can refer some business to?
how much longer is this phone call going to take? I got a doctor's appointment.
Okay. Well, cool, man. I
No,
hope everything
I'm
works
playing
out
devil's
okay.
advocate.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. And so guess what, Jim? That's going to be probably the worst call that you have the day. And the next one's going to be amazing. They'll be, oh my God, Jim, I'm so glad that you called. Thank you so much. And when you ask them about if they have a business, yeah, you know what? My daughter decided, she wanted to make slime and we're selling slime. Do you know anybody who wants to buy some? I don't. And when I talk to somebody who does want to go crazy with some slime in their home, I know I can connect you and you tag them as a business owner in your database. Hey, thanks for taking the time to talk with me today. You could have just hit ignore, and I appreciate that. You take care. If there's anything I can do to help you in the future, you got my number. Have a blessed one. Bam. Next phone number. Don't even think about it. Dial it up. Hey, how are you doing? How your mom and them? How, just don't overcomplicate it. Take yourself out of the equation, to be perfectly honest, because it's not about you.
Exactly.
Your commitment is to whatever I know you probably talked about this in your goal planning, but whatever your why is that's going to drive you to whatever goal that you want to achieve, you're not making these phone calls is robbing your big why of its existence. And if you think every phone call that you make is one step closer to whatever your big why is. Because you never know what the next phone call will be. I heard a lady this morning say, she just chatted with somebody at the tire shop and it's almost $1 million in volume from a buy sell just by being nice to somebody.
Yes.
You never know.
Never know. Never know. Yeah. And quite frankly, Jim, you guys, Nikia has put the lead gen tracker in the chat. So go in there and download it. She's also put the link to that 8 o'clock call that we've been talking about. Thank you so very much, Nikia. And we have 5 minutes to go. Quite frankly, Jim, you never know what somebody's going through. I just texted a client yesterday, I think it was Monday. I texted a client. Actually, no, I left him a message, past client, like, hey, how are you doing? We haven't touched base in a long time, since last year, because we did talk last year. I know what's going on for 2021. I know you always have amazing things going on. He's an investor. He has businesses. He's just this bright man. He just fit. And about 5 minutes later, I get a text from a number that I don't recognize. And the text says, hey, Autherine, I pulled voice message off of X's phone. And I don't even know how to tell you this through the phone. He passed away last year from congestive heart. You never know. And so I was able to talk to her and give her some love and some support and offer my support. So just make the phone calls. And if somebody's having a bad day, you know what? Give them some love, get off the phone and send them a prayer. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
You never know what it is you're doing for somebody else. Okay?
Thank you for mentioning that, Autherine. I just, as a parting thought,
yeah,
I legitimately spend an hour helping people build a 411. And so this is extremely high level. There's a lot of information on KW Connect. You can go in and search 411 to kind of dig deeper. Yeah. But what I want to encourage you to do is take a moment and write down the things that you are committed to accomplishing each week to move you towards your goals. And you get after it.
Yeah.
each day,
Yeah.
you look at the one that's gonna move you closer. And honestly, to make it simple, is reaching out to people. You smile and dial for at least 2 hours a day.
Mhm.
Connect people, provide them with service, connect them with agents in other areas, help them with whatever it is that you can. Because honestly, you'll find out about needs that you can't personally fulfill, but by calling into your database, you may find someone else that can help. It's about connecting people and servicing on the people in our database. Remove yourself from the equation and just get after it.
Yeah.
Every day that you take the time to move towards your goals, you're blessing someone else and you're blessing your future self.
Amen, sister. It's Wednesday Bible study day. Will you
Okay.
guys give there's Nikia's
Woo.
information, her phone number.
Here's
Please.
my contact information. I'm going to
That's
speak
right.
up so you can jot down. I am in Huntsville, Alabama. I do have a team. I love working your referrals. We work to take excellent care of your clients, friends, family, acquaintances in and around Northern Alabama. I'm also, like I said, an ambassador for the One Thing. If I can help you, or Autherine, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to work with you and help your agents, and definitely look forward to you return playing the favor at some point in the future.
Absolutely. I would be happy to. Thank you so much, Nikia. I know you have to jump off the call right now and go to your team meeting. We appreciate you so very much. We wish for you everything that's great for 2021.
Nice to
Thank
meet you,
you.
Nikia.
So much, Nikia. Happy New Year.
Thank
God
you for
bless.
everything.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, you know where to find me. I am in the office, or I am a phone call away. If you just want to do a GPS of 411 and send it over to me so we can talk it through and examine it and interrogate it, do so. Okay. All right.
Autherine, I tried to look at that pivot shift call and it just is giving me like an error. I wasn't sure, the link she sent. I don't know how to get to that.
Okay. So write this down.
Okay.
Let's see. If you go to pivotcall.com.
Call plural or just
Yeah,
call
no,
or call?
just call
Call.
pivotcall.com.
Pivotcall.com.
It should lead you to that Zoom link.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay. All right, you guys, anything else before we go?
I couldn't remember. Are you going to send out the templates for GPS?
Email.
Okay.
And it should be, hold on. Let me look at the chat. It should be in the chat.
The 411's in the chat.
The 411's in the chat. So John, everybody go ahead and download that 411.
Do that on my phone.
Yeah, it says you can download it to your computer or to your phone. And then I will send you, John.
I'm sorry, Miss Autherine, where is it?
Yeah, I'm on my phone. I don't see it.
You don't
I'm
see
on the
it?
computer, but I don't see it.
Okay, so do this then. Email me. Everybody who wants that template, just email me. Autherine@kw.com.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, cool. All right, you guys go have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Autherine.
You as well.
Thank you for
Take
being
care.
on. Take care.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Bye.
Nice to see you there, Arthur.